Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Give me a 9 up in the chat if I can be heard, family. Give me a 9 up in the chat if I can be heard. We got our beloved brother Darryl Kosmon in the building, about to give us a magnificent presentation. Benefits of the objective / subjective and spiritual development. Type of topics we talk about over here and amongst ourselves. Right? We talk about progression. We talk about what can progress you, what can benefit you, what can benefit those around you. You did. We get together and tend to form ways and stratagems to eliminate poverty, crime, diseases. Like, it's a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do out here, setting up programs, and it's a lot. You feel me? But these are the things we talk about. We don't talk about if you got your fringes on or nothing. We don't talk about if you understand. Basic stuff. Stuff certain brews don't mess with you if you use vowels when you're pronouncing the Hebrew, or if you got on mixed garments, or like we tend to focus on what's going to develop your spirit, cultivate your spirit, and grow you further. You understand? And that's what that deal is about. And the best way to rise up, believe it or not, y'all, is the righteousness done unto others. Good works and righteousness done unto others, like true charity. You dig? And what is true charity? Not feeding somebody, but showing them how to feed themselves. You dig? Not giving somebody money, but showing them how to get money themselves. That's what true charity is. So someone's not dependent upon you. You feel me? So yeah. Let's go ahead and get this done. I'm about to bring our brother on. I'm gonna let him rock out and do his thing. You dig? Y'all take notes, man. His brother is taking time out from his family, his wife, his children, to come and deliver this light to you. You know what I mean? So our time is very precious. Don't waste our time. You know what I'm saying? Take notes. The brother is hurt. You dig? I'm pretty sure he'll deal with a few questions when he's done or whatever, or he might be pressed for time. I don't know. But I'm about to let the brother go ahead and rock. I'm about to bring him on. Darryl, introduce yourself. Give us a brief understanding of who you are and how you came to your understanding. And then, brother, jump on in. If you need me to share your screen or whatever, I got you. All right, I'm about to bring my brother on right now.
What up?
My bro right there, baby.
What up, Malaki?
Yeah.
Man, you've been busy this weekend.
Man.
You've been bad busy this weekend.
We've been cooking with the vortex since last week, bro. We ain't stopped. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. We first of all, brother, wonderful intro. I couldn't have said that better myself, man. Wonderful intro to the show today. How's my volume? I know it was up too loud last time I did this show. That's why
how does Darryl Kosmon sound to y'all? Do we need to turn his volume up or down?
Up, down.
If up, put a 1. If down, put a 2. If up, put a 1. If down, put a 2.
Well, if I sound clear, it's all good, man. We can go ahead and rock and roll too. But yeah, I want to let you know, brother, you did a wonderful work over this weekend. You did a wonderful work this weekend, man. All praises. And all praises and to the Most High, to the Most High Creator, great Spirit, that it was bestowed upon you to get on the forefront this weekend the way you did, and go ahead and shine that light, and share that light, and inspire others. So you got some that heard, you got some that didn't hear, but it's ultimately is their responsibility for what move and choices they're gonna make in life. So it's not up to us. We just here to just put the light out.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what we gonna do, bro. We gonna drop megaton light bombs all over social media, and now we got everybody's attention. That was the point. Now we got their attention. Now everybody's like, okay, bump it, man. Let me go over and see what they talking about. Shit. Right. Yeah, that was the whole point. Right. So, brother, I'm glad you were doing a teaching, a very in-depth and detailed teaching right after all them bombs dropped.
Yeah.
We've been in war the past, a couple months, you dig? So it's good that behind all that, we got our brother right here who explains objective and subjective very, very clearly so you can understand what it is. Right. Again, don't waste his brother's time. I'm about to go ahead and turn my camera off. Let me know if you need me to share your screen or anything. I'm right here for you, bro.
All right, I'll be doing that in a second. I'm gonna just talk to the people first.
Okay, absolutely. Bless up.
For sure.
Love and light.
Love and light to you. And love and light to everybody that's in the house. Thanks a lot for coming through and being here. This is going to be a lesson on the objective and subjective phenomena that takes place in our reality, when it comes to judgment, when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to perception, and when it just comes to spiritual development in general. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this information because this is like a YAH'S is a very, very vast book, and the major thing that makes a YAH'S beautiful is that it's backed by reality. It talks about a lot of situations that take place in reality, and so when you read the information, you can actually look to reality to find the evidence in the axioms and the mathematics that apply to the teachings in the YAH'S. And it's and because we can find that in reality, that's what makes the information very practical and something that's very nourishing to the spiritual development, to the corporal man and to the spiritual man. Y'all dig what I'm talking about? Is my volume good? Nobody put a 1 in the chat, but we go ahead. I think I can hear it in my headphones. It doesn't sound like I'm peaking, so we're gonna go ahead and get into this lesson. It's your boy Darryl Kosmon, aka Brother Whirlwind. All praises to the ever-present Most High Creator, the all is, the all was, and the all ever shall be. It is not God, All right. Go ahead and hit this present button here. Let's see, share screen. Go ahead and get philosophical today. We're gonna go ahead and keep this light moving despite all the drama that's going on right now. All right, let me see. I think I'm gonna share entire screen. Okay, go ahead and share this one. All right, this is right here. You got that up, Malaki? Can y'all see the screen? Okay, y'all can see it.
Yeah, we got you up. We can see, bro. Okay. You all good.
Okay, right on. Y'all can see it on my YouTube. Right on. Very good. Okay. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get right into this. I'm gonna tell y'all this is some information about this is just going to be a very basic, clear lesson on the difference, on how to discern the difference between objective and subjective. Okay, this can get very complex, but we just going for like a one-on-one basic sake, just get a basic understanding of what objective and subjective is. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into my intro. We're gonna get this light cracking. All right. The objective subjective are two conditions. Okay, the objective subjective, there are two conditions in reality that apply to the phenomenons of perception, the phenomenon of knowledge, the phenomenon of presence, and the phenomenon of person. Okay, so these are the four we're going to be taking a close look at when it comes to the objective and subjective conditions: the objective and subjective perception, knowledge, presence, and judgment. All right. So without perception, there is no knowledge, right? So we acquire knowledge because we can perceive. All right. So without perception, there is no knowledge. Without knowledge, there is no judgment. And without presence, there is none of these three. So we're gonna get right into what that presence is. So right here in I think this came from Book of Knowledge. My bad for not putting the book up here. I added this at the last second. Right here in the WAH'S. Right here in the YAH'S. No, actually, this is Book of Esra. My bad, y'all. This is coming from Book of Esra. This is chapter 4, verse 9 through 11. All right. It says, Jehovah is life, motion, individual, and person. In proof of which he gave us life, motion, individuality, and person. See that person part, that's our presence. That's what I wanted to point out. Verse 10. To develop these four entities is resurrection toward him, more and more, which is heavenly. So what this is saying is that when we continue to develop our life, continue to develop our motion, which is the way we move, to develop the individual, which is the way we express ourselves, and the person, which is our corporal seeing part. That's heavenly. To develop these. That's why this is called the benefits of objective subjective when it comes to spiritual development, or mental development too, whatever you want to call it. But this is healthy development. All right. Right here it says to neglect them. Okay, to neglect your life, to neglect your emotion, to neglect your individual, to neglect our person or pervert them is to go away from him, which is what? Declension. That's declension. That's the opposite of ascension and growth. Huh? There ain't no spiritual development there. Huh? That's spiritual breakdown, spiritual destruction. Huh? Which can lead to entire destruction right there. They tell you right there. I'm gonna read it again without adding my own little 2 cents. So it makes sense to you. Jehovah is life, motion, individual, person, in proof of which he gave us life, motion, individual, and person. To develop these 4 entities is resurrection toward him, more and more, which is heavenly. To neglect them or pervert them is to go away from him, which is declension, which can lead to entire destruction. That says entire destruction. Now, what is presence? Presence is the actual person, the objective part. And we're going to get into that. So we can refer back to this once we get into what objective is and what subjective is. The presence is the actual person or thing that is present. See that? Now, y'all heard of the phrase in person. What does that phrase in person mean? The phrase in person mean in one's bodily presence. So there you go right there. Within the definition of in person, you got presence. You got person and presence right there. All right, check it out. Furthermore, without knowledge of the 2 conditions, the objective, subjective, how are we able to recognize with the senses the difference between what is fact and what is illusion? Or how a WASP puts it, what is light and what is darkness? Pay attention. We're going to get into it. In this presentation, we will explore the conditions of the objective subjective on perception, knowledge, presence, and judgment, and why it is beneficial to and imperative for our spiritual development. All right, check this out. This is from the Book of Lika, or WASP Book of Lika. This is chapter 2, verse 14. Check out what it says, Faithers. Check out what it says, family. It says 2 conditions will manifest. Subjective spiritualist will affiliate with the world's people, being what? Deniers of the ever-present person. They are deniers of the ever-present person. And they will pursue earthly vocations. Earthly vocations they will pursue. For what? For self's sake. For self's sake. What is the self? That's development of the ego or development of the beast, the lower self. But objective spiritualists, being those who live for the what? The spirit's sake, development of the spirit, not destruction of the spirit, not the declension of the spirit, the progressive development of the spirit, will be faithists. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention, faithists. Okay, this is for us and whoever's listening. It's for the family right here. Believers in the ever-present person, y'all. That's what faith is out. We're believers in the ever-present person. We're gonna bounce back to that toward the end. Now, pay attention to this. We're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into the meat of it now. What is objective perception and subjective perception? Well, first and foremost, let's understand what perception is. What is perception? This is just a basic definition of perception. Just a basic definition of perception. Basic definition of perception is what? How one interprets reality. How one interprets reality. And there are 2 ways you can do that. You can perceive, you can interpret reality objectively, or we can interpret reality subjectively. But what is reality? What is reality? Let's look at that. Reality is the quality or state of being real. That's the quality or state of being real. So then what is real? Now watch this, y'all. Look at the word that's in the definition of real right there. Watch this. Real. What does it say right there in 1A? Having objective independent existence. Having objective independent existence. I'm going to capitalize that for y'all real quick. Having objective independent existence. So real and reality is associated with objective. Now check out definition B. Real. It says not artificial, not fraudulent, or not illusory. Not artificial, fraudulent, or illusory. That's what real is. That's nothing to do with what is artificial, fraudulent, or illusory. Right? So what is perception? Or what does it mean to perceive? To perceive means to become aware through the senses. To become aware through the senses. And then perception is how one interprets reality. So how do you interpret reality when you are aware, when we are aware through our senses? And then to know means to what? Look at to know. To know means to perceive directly. To perceive a thing directly. When something is direct, it's objective. If you perceiving something directly, you perceiving it as it actually is. You keeping it real. There goes your definition right there, and your understanding of keeping it real. Keep it real. Keep it objective. Don't keep it fraudulent. Don't keep it illusory. Be direct. Look at it. Have direct cognition of. To have direct cognition of, right there again. Direct. And then when we look at belief, look at what belief is associated with. So belief is associated with, look at this, it's associated with opinion. Something that is accepted, considered to be true, It ain't say it was actually true or factually true. It just says considered to be true, So we can believe in something subjectively that we ain't even been presented the evidence of to confirm its actuality. But if we say it's true, then it's just considered to be true, but that don't mean that it is true. It's just held as an opinion. It's just something believed. All right. So there are two ways that we observe and interpret. And what did I say? What did I say was associated with interpreting reality? Perception. We're going to get into the perception. Objective perception. Objective perception interprets what? Reality based on facts and not affected by what? Personal feelings. It is not affected by your personal feelings. Objective perception is not affected by personal feelings, opinions, or biases. It ain't coming from the emotions. It is the ability to observe or perceive things as they actually are. Right there. That's real. That's being realistic, That's called objective realism. And in this presentation, you're going to understand why faithists are called objective spiritualists. Objective perception is based on facts and evidence and is what? Not influenced by personal opinions or belief. Not influenced by personal opinions or belief. One moment, y'all. All right. So it's not influenced by personal feelings or belief. Now check out this basic example. All right. So what is this, y'all? This is the photo of a what? A photo of a ball. All right. And assuming that the color settings are correct on your computer screen, this ball is red. It's a red ball, right? So examples of perceiving an object as it actually is. Watch this. Example number one. This is objective. Right here. This is a ball. That's objective. It ain't got nothing to do with my personal feelings. It ain't got nothing to do with my biases. It just is what it is. It's a ball. Or in example number two of being objective, this ball is red. This is a red ball. Basic, simple. No emotions, no opinions, no personal biases attached. We can be genuine about it. We can agree on something. Because we both observing the same thing. Now check this out. Check out subjective perception. Subjective perception interprets reality based on emotions, based on opinions and based on personal feelings. It is the ability to observe or perceive things from the perspective of what one's own feelings, beliefs, and experiences. Y'all getting the difference? Subjective perception is based on individual feelings and beliefs and is what is not guided by facts or evidence. Subjective perception is not guided by facts or evidence. But right here in objective perception, what does it say? It says objective perception is based on facts and evidence. Now let me show you an example again with our red ball right here. These are examples of perceiving an object from one's own personal feelings. So listen, example 1 says, this ball is stupid. This ball is stupid. That's something that's coming from the personal feelings, of somebody else, coming from my personal feelings that is stupid, right? And even if it's not a negative value that you give into this red ball, you can also say that this ball is fantastic. That's still an opinion that I'm imposing on this red ball from my personal experiences. So it works both ways, y'all. We got to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to faithism. We just can't be one-sided and biased. You see there? See how that's objective. What's got to do with bias? Being subjective. We objective spiritually. So we're going to say we're going to show the dark side. We're going to show the light side. We got to show the dark side too. And if we're going to show the dark side, we got to show the light side too. Because reality encompasses all that. If you're going to speak on reality, keep it real. Speak on it. Speak on what's actual. Speak on what's real, right? Objective. Again, I'm going to drill this into y'all head. Expressing or dealing with facts. Expressing or dealing with facts or conditions as perceived. Look, perceive without distortion. Perceive it without distortion. That's what you're doing when you add in your personal feelings to this ball. You go, look, this ball is red, right? That's direct. That's direct. But then I say, man, this ball stupid as hell. This ball's stupid. Now I'm adding distortions to it. I'm putting my own little stamp on it, my own little feelings on it. But check this out. When you put your personal feeling, when you impose your personal feeling, when we impose our personal feelings on an object that is independent of our perceptions, it really says more about who we are than it does about the object being perceived. Did y'all catch that? Anything outside of us has an objective, independent existence. It has a reality that exists outside of our perceptions. So for me to say something is stupid or to say something is fantastic, that says less about the object being perceived and says more about the perceiver. Think about that. Think about that. Look what else objective perception does. It says limited to choices of fixed alternatives. And it says reducing subjective factors to a minimum. So as objective spiritualism, we're talking about reality. Whenever somebody comes to us with that subjective mess, with subjective information, we have the ability with our objective perception to gather the facts and to gather the evidence and to do the mathematics on the situation and what cut those subjective factors down to a minimum. Now, I can go crazy with this, but y'all see what happens in those debates between faithists and other people. Chop, chop. Check it out. Book of Inspiration, 11:19. Look what it say right here. Here's an example of being objective. It says, do not be confounded with abstruse reasonings. What is abstruse? Abstruse means to be obscure. What does obscure do? Obscure means to distort information or to distort a situation. That's obscure. It says, do not be confounded by abstruse reasonings. But then look what it says right here. It says, cut all things short godlike. So when somebody approaches us with those abstruse reasonings, we use objective reasonings to cut those things short. Godlike. Come on, faithers. Learn of the Creator and his creations. Check it out. Objective again. Of relating to or being an object, phenomenon, or condition in the realm of sensible experience. Look at that. When we're objective, check this out. Check this out, objective spiritualists. I want y'all to see something. We function in the realm of sensible experience. Do y'all see that right there in the definition? We function in the realm of sensible. It says of being an object, phenomenon, or condition in the realm of sensible experience, independent of individual thought and perceptible by all observers. And look, check this out. This is what I was just saying before we got here. It says having reality independent of the mind. That means having a reality independent of what others think of you. So when we react and respond to the way somebody perceives us, it's a choice as to whether or not we respond in a negative fashion or in a productive fashion. Because at the end of the day, we don't owe it to anybody to give them a care as to how they perceive us. Not at all. Did you know when you let somebody affect your spirit, they really tearing you down for real. They really breaking your spirit down. They're really tearing down your self-expression. Watch this. Let me get my WASP open real quick. Give me just a moment, y'all. I want to show y'all something real quick. Don't ever let people kill your spirit, because when people kill your spirit, they're killing your self-expression. Watch this. When people kill your spirit, when we allow people to kill our spirit, they're killing our self-expression. Watch this. Let me go to the glossary. Where's that at? Here it is. And I'm going to go and look up spirit for y'all. I believe it's in the definition of spirit. Right here. Watch this. I'm going to go down to the second definition. I'm going to read the whole thing for y'all, but I want us to focus on the second part of this definition. Watch this. It says spirit. It says synonymous, but not correctly with angel. When we say water, we may not mean the ocean, but when we say ocean, we mean water. When we say angel, we do not mean a spirit, but when we say spirit, we may not mean an angel. Now watch this. This is what I want y'all to focus on. It says also spirit means the expression. Let me zoom in some more to make sure y'all can see it. It says also spirit means the expression of an entity. For example, how one expresses and what is expressed are the result of the state of the spirit. Are the result of the state of the spirit. Like if you feeling good or you feeling depressed, that's a result of the state of your spirit. How we express ourselves. And so when we let people get to us, people that are outside of our objective independence, when you let somebody tear you down, they really literally destroying your spirit. They destroying your self-expression. Now check this out. We're gonna go ahead and get back in here. What does it mean by having reality independent of the mind? Check this out. Check this out. The object is something that presumably exists independent of the subject's perception of it. I'm going to say that one more time. The object is something that presumably exists independent of the subject's perception of it. In other words, the object would be there as it is, even if no subject perceived it. Y'all see that? Hence, objectivity is typically associated with ideas such as what? Reality, truth, and reliability. You see that, Faithers? We function in the realm of sensible. We function in the realm of reality. We function in the realm of truth. We function in the realm of reliability because we are objective spiritualists. Huh? So based on what we just learned, if the object exists independent of our subjective perceptions, does our subjective perception define what it is? Or does it define how we think? Because how we think is objectively who we are. So when somebody shows you what they are, you better believe it. Because how people express themselves, how we express ourselves is our reality. And when people show us this reality, when you show people this reality of yourself objectively, you give them an exact perception of who it is you are. But it works vice versa too. Because subjective perceptions are also false or illusionary values given to someone or something. And if somebody expresses themselves in such a fashion that also defines who they are, that's how we can tell the difference between subjective spiritualists and spiritualists that are objective. I told y'all it works both ways. We're talking about the good, bad, and the ugly. Subjective. Subjective is modified or affected by personal views, experiences, or background. But check this out, though. Check this out, objective spiritualists. Who function in the realm of sensible and real. Check this out. Subjective are people that lack in reality. Subjective spiritualists lack in reality. Lacks in reality. Now let's go back up here and read this verse. Objective spiritualists, being those who live for the spirit's sake, the development of the spirit will be faithists. We are associated with what is real. Real is having an objective independent existence, not artificial, fraudulent, or illusory. So they function in the realm of artificial, the realm of fraudulent, the realm of illusory, while we function in the realm of what? Realism, being objective about the development of the spirit. And I know that's right. I meant to look this up when I had came across the abstruse reasoning. So remember in that verse, it said to cut things short, godlike, and don't be confounded by abstruse reasonings. What are abstruse reasonings? Difficult to comprehend. Those are reasonings that are difficult to comprehend. Recondite. Recondite is of relating to or dealing with something little known or obscure. See there? Now let's get into how Oahspe reveals the two types of presence in our reality, the objective presence and the subjective presence. Oahspe, Book of Leka, Son of Jehovah, chapter 6, verse 5 and 6 and 9. Check this out. It says, To the corporean, I gave two kinds of presence. Here we go with presence. Here we go with presence. We talked about perception. Now we're talking about the presence. To the corporean, I gave two kinds of presence. Objective and subjective, right there in a WASPy. By the latter, he can imagine himself in a far off place. And the thought that proceeds out of him goes to a friend and speaks understandingly in the distance. We're talking about subjective. For I created him so. We check this out, y'all. But he who goes objectively must what? Take his person with him. And we went over what person is. We went over person. That's your corporal objective self. But he who goes objectively must take his person with him, for I created him so. And I magnified these two conditions to the spirits of all men, so that they could also appear objectively and subjectively in the places known to them. How many of us can close our eyes right now and imagine ourselves on Mars? Or imagine ourselves in our favorite place on Earth? When we close our eyes and we imagine ourselves standing on some foreign planet in the Andromeda galaxy, that's a subjective presence. We're not there objectively. Objectively, we're on Earth. But in our minds, we're traveling to different locations subjectively. That's where meditation comes in. Think about that. That's where creativity comes in. That's where this creativity is where subjective has its place in the universe when it comes to being creative, when it comes to writing raps, when it comes to making paintings, when it comes to expressing the way we are, because there is no objective one set way to be. That's why we have many personalities, many perceptions, many perspectives. Even when we dream, we're in a subjective location, or we're in a location subjectively. Or to be more complex, we're having our own individual subjective objective experience that is subjective to people that are independent of our person. Think about that. That was a mouthful. But I told y'all that it can get more complicated than just this simple basic understanding. Nevertheless, I gave freedom to all. To him who does not go objectively, to go subjectively. But if we go subjectively, check it out. It's of little avail and not much truth or profit. So it's telling you right here in the WASPy that anything we do subjectively doesn't have much truth and it doesn't have much profit. But check out verse number 10. I want y'all to pay attention to this. And I created man and angels in such a way that what? All knowledge which is to be everlasting must be obtained how? Objectively. All knowledge that is to be everlasting must be obtained objectively. Objective spiritualists, faithists, brothers and sisters. So y'all hear me? For us to be faithists, we have to stay true to being in the realm of sensible, the realm of actual, the realm of what is evident. To be in a realm of subjective where illusory and fraudulent where that stuff resides, that's the contrary to being an objective spiritualist. That's called subjective spiritualism, faith is. And yes, I made him desire without end, experienced by his own person. All knowledge which is to be everlasting must be obtained objectively. Now, knowledge in itself, knowledge is a mix of facts and opinions, because you can have knowledge of anything, but just because you have knowledge doesn't mean that what you think you know or what you have knowledge of is factual. That's why it's important to understand the difference between subjective and objective, so that we can discern or distinguish between what is real and what is fraudulent when it comes to knowledge. Knowledge, definition, facts, information, and skills acquired by a person through experience or education. Now, watch this. Watch this. I want y'all to listen for subjective and objective in this definition. The theoretical or practical understanding of a subject. Now, that theoretical part would be subjective. It's theoretical. It's in theory. But information or knowledge that is practical, is objective. See, it says the theoretical or practical understanding of a subject. Now let's open up a WASPI. Let's open up a WASPI. Let's go right up to the cover. Let's go right up to the front cover. It says a WASPI. And what does it say? It says it's a practical guidebook to the spiritual life. A practical guidebook to the spiritual life. It's practical. It contains practical information. It contains objective information. But of course, the book has to prove itself. The information in the book has to prove that to us in order for us to confirm that the information is objective. That's any book. A WASPI is not immune to that. Now, check out these term associations. Objective perception, is associated with facts, evidence, object, sensible, and observe. Actually, both of these have to do with observing. So I'm gonna put that here too. It is independent. It is independent on the perceptions of the individual. Actually, that should be of. It's independent of the perceptions of an individual. Subjective perception is associated with opinion, bias, prejudice, personal feelings, illusory, and also observe. But subjective perception is also dependent of the perceptions of the individual. Also, subjective perception is associated with darkness, whereas objective perception is associated with highest light. It's associated with light, highest light. Objective perception, highest light. Subjective perception, darkness. How is objective perception a highest light and subjective perception darkness? How is objective perception a highest light and subjective perception darkness? OWASP, Book of Discipline, chapter 8, verses 3 through 8. Check this out, y'all. Check this out. Many are also under the prejudice of old things. I want y'all to peep these key words. I want y'all to peep these key words as I read this passage. Key words that are associated with objective perception and key words that are associated with subjective perception. You're going to see these key words in these passages, which is why we went to vocabulary school before we got this far. Many are also under the prejudice of old things, or the influence of a neighbor, or a spirit, or their surroundings, or the impulse of their own flesh, and say, I too follow my highest light. Whereas they are in darkness all together, nor do they know what is meant by the term highest light. Often venturing a what? An opinion, or a vague surmise instead, and believing they are expressing their highest light. But check this out, y'all. Peep this. It says, for which reasons you shall explain that only what? Facts well known or comparatively proven are light. Facts well known or comparatively proven are light. And then it goes on to say, an opinion is not light. An opinion is not light. What is opinion associated with? Subjective perception. Subjective perception. That whoever professes light must know the matter by his own knowledge. That whoever professes light must know the matter by his own knowledge. That means to go see for yourself. So despite what was being taught to you or was being shared with you in this presentation, when this presentation is over, and if this interests you to go further and dig deeper, go and see this for yourself. Do not just believe it. Do not just know it. Do not just have faith in it because I'm presenting it in front of you. Go check behind me and make sure that what I'm talking about is actual, is real, and it is not fraudulent and is not illusory. And after you do the research for the information, look at reality itself. And I bet you, you'll be able to discern or differentiate between what is objective and what is subjective. And once you do that, then you'll know the matter by what? Your own knowledge. Now it's direct and not indirect coming from me. That facts, numbers, figures, and axioms, hold on, facts, numbers, figures, or axioms can what? Demonstrate light. Facts, numbers, figures, or axioms can demonstrate light. And without these, then that supposed light is only darkness. That supposed light is only darkness. Without the evidence, without the facts, without the figures, that light is only darkness. Pursue this philosophy, and you shall easily discover who among you has the highest light. Now y'all know the difference. Now you know the difference. Now you know the difference. Now you know you listen at one side of the story and then another side of the story. The one that introduces the facts and the numbers and the figures and the axioms, that's the party right there that's demonstrating light. But then the other party that's arguing, if they can't substantiate their claims, what is that? They're being illusory. They're being fraudulent in their claims. They don't have the highest light. Even when it comes to books. And a WASPy isn't immune to that. A WASPy is not immune to judgment. Read that book and see if it's backed by reality. And if it is, it has a higher light than any other book out there. Huh? But that's a matter that you got to know by your own knowledge, not just because I'm saying so. Be realistic, be direct. Huh? Now, check out verse 11. This is an example of objective in verse 11 and 12. Watch this. These then are the rules of light. Look, the rules of light. You got the rules of light in a WASPy. Look, these then are the rules of light. That which is self-evident. Huh? When you go and know a matter by your own knowledge, when we go and know and understand a matter by our own knowledge, it becomes self-evident. Not evident from somebody who's telling you that identified it for themselves. Go see for yourself. Then it becomes self-evident. Not evident depending on somebody that told you. That's called being indirect. That's not called direct. Self-evidence is direct. Objective evidence is direct. Huh? These then are the rules of light. That which is self-evident. That which is axiomatic. That which is substantiated by facts. Huh? That which has a parallel of what? Known things. That which has a parallel of known things. I think my mic is getting a little loud. Huh? Things that lead to peace, order, and the uplifting of your neighbor and yourself. Look at this, huh? Huh? It's even telling you how objective perception has moral behind it. Huh? It has ethics behind it. Huh? That's ethical right there. Things that lead to peace. That's ethical. Things that lead to order. That's ethical. Things that uplift your neighbor and yourself. That's ethical. Huh? That's practical the development of the spirit. Huh? And then it says in verse 12, it says, also to discipline yourself to be constantly on the alert, to be pure, to be good, to be truthful, to be gentle in your speech, and to what? Practice right doing. That go your ethics. That go your morals. Huh? These are following the highest light right here, y'all. That's the highest light right there. That's the highest light. Huh? Now, 13 is an example of subjective. Now, here, check it out. Check out verse 13. Check out verse 13. This, though, is darkness. Huh? We got rules of light, and then we got darkness. We got rules of darkness, too. Look, this, though, is darkness. To express fault finding, criticism, to censor, or even what? An opinion unsupportable by facts. Come on, fake this. Come on, fake this. Come on, fake this. Self-evident. They go axiom right there. They go to the definition of what an axiom is. And an axiom is an established rule or principle or a self-evident truth. You see what I'm talking about? Get it by your own knowledge. Be direct about it. Make it self-evident by doing your own research, huh? And seeing it unfold in reality or not. Huh? Or see if it unfolds in reality or not. Because then you'll be able to determine whether it's fraudulent or if it's evident, huh? If it's actual. Huh? Check this out. Check this out. Like if me and Malaki was roommates, right? And I just came in the crib from the store or something, and Malaki go, hey, Darryl Kosmon, what color is the sky outside? I'll say, bro, the sky is blue. Huh? He only knows that indirectly. He's only being dependent of my word. But until Malachi goes outside and look up into the sky himself and see that it's blue, then it becomes more direct. It becomes more evident then. So it doesn't matter what somebody say to you. Go fact check it. But if Malachi went outside and he saw that the sky was pink like this, he know, dude, bro, you lied to me. You deceived me, man. You duped me, bro. I asked you what color the sky was outside, and I was dependent on you to tell me the truth. But you didn't, bro. You told me it was blue. I went outside, I saw that it was pink, bro. Y'all see how it is? See it for yourself. See it for yourself. And check out the next section right here, y'all. Objective consciousness is diamond consciousness. Objective consciousness is diamond consciousness. Do y'all hear that? Do y'all hear this, Faith? Are y'all hearing this? This is the spirituality that we chose for ourselves. Objective consciousness is diamond. You know what? If you have diamond consciousness, give yourself a 1. Give yourself a 1 in the chat right now if you have diamond consciousness, This ain't about me, it's about you. Give yourself a 1 in the chat if you have that diamond consciousness. We're about to understand what that diamond consciousness is. Y'all know where this is going. Objective consciousness is that diamond consciousness. Watch this. Watch this. This is from a book called The Pearl Beyond. No, wait a minute. The Pearl Beyond Price. Wait a minute, I ain't put the full title in there. Wait a minute. My bad, y'all. Got a little loopy doing this. Okay. All right. So this information is coming from a book called The Pearl Beyond Price by the author YHWH'S. Okay, and I'm going to be reading from page 187 on this book. And this book, it describes objective and subjective perception, but I thought this information fell right in line with what objective perception and consciousness is. Now, I want y'all to check this out. Okay, look, this is the Pearl Beyond Price, objective spiritualist, with that diamond consciousness. Check this out, y'all. A more fundamental reason for our use of the term diamond is related to the aspect of essence. The aspect of essence. Now, in this context, essence would be like the great spirit that flows through us. Okay. A more fundamental reason for our use of the term diamond is related to the aspect of essence that we have mentioned, which functions as our inner guidance. This aspect is that of what? Objective understanding. The understanding necessary for the realization and development of the personal essence. Development of the what? The personal essence. Look at this. Look at this. OWASP, for the spiritual and practical enlightenment and development of what? Individuals, groups, humanity, for their glory, happiness, and for the glory of the whole. Y'all see that? Y'all see how the same terms are associated with objective understanding? Do y'all see this? Practical, development, enlightenment. It's all there. It all checks out. It all checks out. This aspect is that of objective understanding. The understanding necessary for the realization and development of the personal essence. The personal essence being us, the person, the personal essence, the person. Remember in the beginning when I read from book of Esra, what did Jehovah say? I am life, I am motion, I am individual, and I am person. And because it's life, motion, individual, and person, By virtue of its presence, we are life, emotion, individual, and person. So speaking the same language, that's our personal essence. This aspect affects the consciousness in a very specific and what unmistakable manner. One feels clear and what objective. One feels clear and objective. One's consciousness becomes what sharp, precise, and luminous. This is an immediate sense of a brilliant and precise intelligence. One's consciousness becomes crystal clear and exquisitely objective, but alive. This objective consciousness, which has the function of understanding, we refer to sometimes as what? Diamond consciousness. Diamond consciousness. Because it is experiential, because its experiential qualities resemble those of a clear and sharply cut diamond. All aspects of essence function in this dimension in the service of understanding. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. What does Oahspe say about the diamond? What does Oahspe say the value is of the diamond? Check out the value of the diamond. And we're gonna do this one first, but it's really the second one I want y'all to pay attention to. But we're gonna read this from the book of Safar. It says, "My heart no longer looks downward. My corporal passions I have subdued. Yes, even the diamond, the highest shining corporal thing, does not bind me." Man is expressing here that the diamond is the highest shining corporal thing, but with the understanding that I have, it don't even bind me. I'm above that value, But check this out, y'all. I want y'all to understand this. What we talked about. We talked about objective consciousness or objective perception having that of the highest light. But check out the diamond. What is the diamond high of? Check this out. What is the value of the diamond? It says here in Book of Cosmogony, Book of 73, 73, 37, chunk. All right, Book of Cosmogony, first chapter, verse 37. It says, corporeal substances all contain heat. Even snow and ice have it in infinitesimal quantities, and oils and herbs of all kinds. But check this out. But the diamond contains the what? The highest percentage of charge. So if we have a diamond consciousness, we have a consciousness, we have a perception, we have knowledge that is the highest percentage of charge. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? In other words, let's continue to read some more. Understanding an aspect of the being objectively means knowing it from its own perspective. Here we go again, y'all. This book is saying the same thing that Creator is telling us by no matter by our own knowledge. Get your own take on it. Understanding an aspect of the being objectively means knowing it from its own perspective and not from one's own point of view, which is necessarily prejudiced by personal history. Objective understanding has the effect of altering the experience of the aspect, taking it to new dimensions of essence. This dimension is that of objective understanding, which we have discussed as what? The diamond guidance or the diamond consciousness. To know from your own perspective or by your own knowledge and not from anyone else's means that we are independent of what others know or believe. Check this out. Let me see. Wait a minute. What is 34? Where did I pull this from? Give me a second, y'all, so I can find out what book I got this out of. So I got this out of 34. 34 is Book of Inspiration. Okay. All right. So we're going to read from Book of Inspiration based on what I just said there. I'm going to read that again. To know from your own perspective or by your own knowledge and not from anyone else's means that we're independent of what others know or believe. Check it out from Book of Inspiration, chapter 7, verse 1. I created man even from the beginning, that he should learn to be an independent being, says Jehovah. An independent being. What is independent? Not subject to or controlled by others. We're not subjected to the control by others. Remember, to be objective means to understand that we have an objective, independent existence outside of others. And vice versa. Others have an objective, independent existence outside of ourselves. Verse 8, to man I gave liberty to acquire wisdom. How? By observing. By observing. We can observe objectively. We can observe subjectively. To man I gave liberty to acquire wisdom by observing the method of my work. That means see it for ourselves objectively. Now check out Book of Judgment 20. Chapter 20, verse 29 through 31. Books are imperfect. Books are imperfect. That also means a waspy. Books are imperfect, but Jehovah never. Never. The spirit of reality, never. Neither shall you from this time forward swear by any book under the sun, nor by any God, Lord, Savior, Spirit, idol, or image. But you shall swear by Jehovah, your creator. You shall covenant yourself to Jehovah only, and you shall do this, but in your own way only. In our own way only. And not according to any book, Bible, priest, church, or spirit. So, like I said before, as I'm doing this presentation, don't covenant to my words. See it for yourself. Don't see it because I'm sitting here telling you or sharing it with you. Do not do that. I disclaim that right now. Don't believe a thing that I'm telling you until you go and do the research on your own and actually see it. I'm sorry. Actually see it for yourself being demonstrated in reality. Here we go, y'all. Now we're gonna get into the judgment. We're gonna get into judgment. We talked about knowledge. We talked about presence. We talked about perception. We even touched on consciousness a little bit. Now we're gonna talk about judgment. Now we're gonna talk about the judgment. Judgment. What is judgment, y'all? Now, I got this definition of judgment from Merriam Dictionary. And I'm going to tell y'all why we're going to dispute this definition with the WASP. We're going to dispute this definition of judgment with the WASP because judgment in the definition is associated with opinion. What is judgment? Judgment is the process of forming an opinion or evaluation by discerning and comparing. An opinion or estimate formed. But check this out, y'all. Although judgment is defined as based on opinion, can judgment also be based on facts? I'm going to say that again. Although judgment is defined as based on opinion, can judgment also be based on facts? Check it out. Subjective perception is an opinion or judgment from personal experiences and view of life. As noted in our basic definition of conflict, we define conflict as a disagreement through which the parties involved perceive a threat to their needs, interests, or concerns. One key element of this definition is the idea that each party may have a different perception of any given situation. You see this in debates. We see this in debates. Not taking the subjectivity of perception into account is probably the number one source of conflict across the world. Two people don't see things in the same way. I'm going to say it again. Two people don't see things in the same way, but act as their way is the singular correct way to see things, or don't conceive that another can differ in how things seem. I want to say that one more time, y'all, to get this audio correct. Two people don't see things in the same way, but act as their way is the singular correct way to see things. Or don't conceive that another can differ in how things seem. Most prominent is misunderstandings of what? Intention. We're going to get into intention in just a moment. Most prominent is misunderstandings and intention. What is meant as friendly and open gets perceived as insulting and aggressive. Watch this. What is meant as friendly and open gets perceived as insulting and aggressive. It gets perceived as insulting and aggressive. That depends on the person, on the perceptor's experience and background. And through no fault of either party, a conflict arises. Sides are taken, and then there are two sides competing to best the other. This subjective perception gives rise to what? Conflict. What is intent? Now, we talked about it. Most prominent is misunderstandings and intention. When two people are going at it with each other, these two people, these two parties, these two sides, they just misunderstand the intentions of each other. That's all. Check this out. What is intention? Intent is an aim or purpose or a course of execution. One more time. Intent, an aim or purpose or a course of execution. So when you want to be able to identify the intent of a thing or the intent of a person, we're trying to identify their aim. We're trying to identify their purpose. We're trying to identify their course of execution. Now watch this. The question was, can judgments also be judgments of fact? Check it out from the source. Judgments of fact. They are those that have to do with what? An objective reality. They're right there in the source. Right there in the source. Look, judgments of fact. They are those that have to do with an objective reality or a physical, verifiable, concrete fact without involving the personal positions or opinions of the without involving the personal positions or opinions of the person issuing them. They are usually the starting point for hypotheses, deductions, and other forms of reasoning. Now, if y'all was paying attention, what does it say right here? They are usually the starting point of hypotheses. What does it say in the rules of light? The mathematics, the axioms, the evidence, and then it says they are usually a starting point for what? Deductions. Remember in the definition of objective, it says, what does it do? It says it reduces subjective factors to a minimum. So factual judgment or objective judgment has to do with deductions. It has to do with picking out the illusory, the fraudulent information, in a given situation. Judgments of fact are usually the starting point for hypotheses, deductions, and other forms of reasoning. Now check this out. Value judgments. These are called judgments of opinion. They're called value judgments. Because remember in the beginning, when we were looking at the example of that red ball, and I gave you examples of subjective perceptions on that red ball, and I said this ball is stupid or this ball is fantastic. When you give somebody, when you say something is stupid or say something is fantastic, for example, you're giving it a value based on your experiences, based on your prejudices, or based on your biases. You're giving it a value. That doesn't mean that that's what the object is. But when we describe something in such a fashion, we're giving it a value judgment. I don't need to give a ball a value judgment by calling it a ball. That's just what it is, with or without my perception of it. Because why? It's an object that is independent of my mind. It is independent of my perceptions. It doesn't need my value. It doesn't need my perception. Value judgments are judgments of opinion. They are evaluations or opinions about something or someone made from their personal, often subjective approach. See there? To the extent they express as much or more about the person issuing them than about the matter in question. See? When you give something value, it says a lot about who you are inside. When you say something is beautiful, it says a lot about who you are inside as an individual. When you say something is nasty or stupid or ugly, it says a lot about what you're going through as an individual. Think about that, y'all. When you're talking about somebody behind their back, that says more about you than the person you're talking about behind their back. Think about that. That person that is independent of your perceptions have nothing to do with what it is, how it is you feel about them. To the extent they express as much or more about the person issuing them than about the matter in question that is being evaluated. And they are usually of approval or disapproval. Now watch this, y'all. This came from the Encyclopedia of Philosophy. Check this out. We're going to emphasize that again. Judgments of fact and judgments of opinion. Watch this. One last prominent style or of usage for terms related to objectivity deals with the nature of support a particular knowledge claim has. Objective knowledge can designate a knowledge claim having roughly the status of being fully supported or proven. See that? Objective knowledge can designate a knowledge claim having roughly the status of being fully supported or proven. Correspondingly, subjective knowledge might designate some unsupported or weakly supported knowledge claim. It is more accurate to refer to these as objective and subjective judgments. See there? This source calls judgments of fact and judgments of opinion objective and subjective judgments. It is more accurate to refer to these as objective and subjective judgments rather than knowledge. But one should be on guard for the use of the term knowledge in this context. This usage fits with the general connotation for the term objectivity of solidity, trustworthiness, accuracy, and impartiality. The general connotation for many uses of subjectivity includes unreliability, bias, and incomplete personal perspectives. Y'all see this? Y'all understanding this now? Are y'all understanding the difference between objective and subjective? Objective judgment or belief refers to a judgment or belief based on objectively strong supporting evidence. The sort of evidence that would be compelling for any rational being. Look at this. It say the sort of evidence that would be compelling for any rational being. Come on, subjective spiritualists. Come on, faithists. We work in the realm of sensible. We operate in the realm of sensible. We're realists. We operate in the realm of being rational beings. Huh? We operate in the realm of proving. We operate in the realm of knowing so that we don't have to believe. Huh? We operate in the realm of practical information for the development of our spirit. Huh? We operate in objective reality, objective realism. This is why we are objective spiritualists, and what others are considered subjective spiritualists, who submit themselves and subject themselves to the contrary of reality. A subjective judgment would then seem to be a judgment a subjective judgment would then seem to be a judgment or belief supported by evidence that is compelling for some rational beings, but not compelling for others. It could also refer to a judgment based on evidence that is of necessity available only for some subjects. Like, look at theories of the Big Bang. Theories of the Big Bang. That's supported by the theory of relativity. So that's a theory that's supported by a theory that people believe in. How do you support a theory with a theory? That's an example of what they was talking about here. You got subjective phenomena being supported by subjective information. That's crazy. That's crazy. They distort and alter reality to make it fit their ideals. Crazy. That's what you call pseudo. That's what you call pseudo right there. But let's go ahead and get up in this OWASPI. What does OWASPI have to say about the differences? What does OWASPI have to say about judgment of fact and judgments of opinion? Contrary to what Miriam says, that associates it with just opinion. Watch this. Man, I keep forgetting to put my books up here. Hold on a second. What's 28? That's Book of Esther. Yeah, this came from Book of Esther right here. Chapter 4, verse 1. Listen to this, y'all. Pay attention. It's in the details, y'all. Pay attention. Give ear, O man, and be wise in your judgment. Y'all see that right there? Check it out, faithers. It says to be wise in our judgment. It says, give ear, O man, and be wise in your judgment. What judgment? Judgments of sure perception and what? Good discernment. You see that? Where's my sister Ahuba at? She still here? You still in the house, Ahuba? Because I saw your comment in the chat. Your comment says this. I'm going to read what your comment says here in the chat. It says, I might have my own opinions on matters that might not be true, but I'm going to tell you something, Ahuba. Check this out. We're going to address that right here. That's okay, though. That's okay, though, because guess what? Right here in this verse, it says, if you don't have the sure perception of the judgment, at least have good discernment. And so what you just said, Sister Ahuba, is that even though you might not have sure perception of a situation, you do your best to have good discernment of the situation. You see what I'm saying? So now we're going to get into the differences because it explains the two types of judgment here in this passage. It says, be wise in your judgment, sure perception, and good discernment. See that, Sister Ahuba? You got that diamond consciousness, huh? Check it out. Sure perception. What is sure perception? Sure perception is factual. Sure perception is factual. It's objective. Good discernment is opinion. Good discernment is opinion. Because even though we may not have the sure perception or the factual evidence, at least have good discernment. Acquire enough information so that you can have good discernment or good discernment of a situation. Because we're not going to always know all our lives. Some things we have to believe. Some things we just have to believe. Until otherwise is found. What does it mean to be sure? Watch this. We're going to break it down. What is sure perception? And remember, we said perception is what? One's interpretation of a matter or one's interpretation of reality. So to be sure means to be marked or given to feelings of confident certainty. So you can perceive a situation with certainty. That's objective. It's certain. What is certainty? Certainty right here. Certainty says the quality or state of being certain, especially on the basis of what? Evidence. Huh? Hmm? Now, what is discernment? Let's break down what's good discernment. What is discernment? Discernment is the quality of being able to grasp and comprehend what is obscure. What did we say obscure was? Let's go back and read that definition of obscure. I think that was up here. Hold on, y'all. Where was that at? Oh, no, that was abstruse. Okay. Hold on. Let's look it up in the dictionary, y'all. I thought I pointed myself to it in the doc. Hold on. I'm screwing up here. Just a moment, y'all. Let me get back down to where I was at. Okay. So we go to Marianne. We're going to look up obscure real quick. Check out obscure. Check out this definition of obscure. Look at that. Dark and dim. Dark and dim. That's the first definition of obscure, is to be dark and dim. And then B says shrouded or hidden by darkness. Shrouded or hidden by darkness. That's obscure. That's something obscure. But that diamond consciousness, that objective consciousness, that objective understanding, those rules of light, gives us the ability to see things, to see right through obscure situations. Watch this. Look at this discernment, the quality of being able to grasp and comprehend what is obscure. Our Creator gives us so much liberty that not even judgment is immune to being judged. We just judged the definition of judgment that was given to us by Merriam Dictionary, y'all. So we just don't have judgments of opinion. We also have judgments of fact. And we also pointed that out right here in OWASP and Book of Inspiration when it says, be wise in our judgment of sure perception. And if we can't be sure, to at least have good discernment. Because we're not always going to know for sure, but we must do our best, right? Now we're going to get into intent. Remember, we talked about intent. We talked about intent. What is intent? Intent is the aim or purpose. Did y'all remember the definition of intent? It is the aim or purpose of a thing. It's course of execution. Let's go back up and find that. Go back up and find it. Here it is right there. It's an aim or purpose or a course of execution. That's intent. That's intent. Watch this. That's why we have to understand the difference between objective and subjective judgment. How is sure perception and good discernment beneficial when it comes to judgment? Because it helps us comprehend the intent of a thing. It helps us understand the intent of a thing. Watch this. Now we're going to read Book of Inspiration. This is our last part, y'all. This is our last part. We're going to read Book of Inspiration, chapter 9, verses 1 through 10. All right. Check this out. Man I created with capacity to distinguish from my direct and my indirect inspirations, says Jehovah. Now remember, earlier on in this presentation, we talked about direct and we talked about indirect. And I gave an example. Me sharing this information with the audience. This is indirect when it comes to your understanding. It's indirect when it comes to your understanding. It would be more direct for you to go and see the matter by your own knowledge. When you go and do the research for yourself and understand it by your own way, that is more direct than me just sharing it with you. If I had a cup of water, right? If I had a cup of water and you was thirsty, right? And I was giving you that cup of water, I was holding that cup of water to your lips for you. I'm giving it to you indirect. It would be more direct for you to take this cup and drink your cup of water. All right. All right. Man, man, I'm silly as hell. All right, but you get the idea. You get the idea. Man, I created with the capacity to distinguish my direct from my indirect inspiration, says Jehovah. And what does the creator mean by that? What does great spirit mean by direct and indirect? Let's look up direct. Direct is stemming immediately from the source. Direct extends immediately from the source. Huh? 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 Direct means it's stemming immediately from the source. It's stemming immediately from the object as it is. See there? It's having no compromising or impairing element. It has no compromising or impairing element. Huh? When you go see it for yourself, that's direct. It has no compromising or impairing element. I'm not in a way impairing you of your understanding. You're getting the understanding on your own, direct from the source. That's why we worship the creator and not gods and saviors and books and lords. Are y'all getting that? Is it making sense to you? Because there was a lot that was said here that I can go in on when it comes to Bible and other religious beliefs, but I'm not doing that today. Today is not that day. It's just going to be light right now. What are impairing elements? Impairing elements are elements that are associated with subjective perception, which are opinion, bias, prejudice, and other factors. Be direct. Be realistic. Be objective. That has to do with being direct. Now watch indirect. Indirect is not straightforward or open. And then look at the word that's associated with indirect. Deceitful. Deceit. Deceit. That's why in this presentation, that's why I always give you an example. Don't believe anything that I'm telling you. Go see it for yourself. Because guess what? I could be deceiving you. Just like I gave with the sky example. If I told, like, if Malaki asked me, Darryl Kosmon, what color is the sky? And I told him blue and it was really pink. And he goes out and sees that the sky was pink and not blue like I told him. Guess what? He just realized I deceived him. See it for yourself. How else are you going to be able to comprehend the intent, the aim, the purpose, the course of execution of a thing, right? Verse 2, and my angels gave him rules. What? My angels gave him rules? Wait. And my angels gave him rules by which he could make manifest the difference between the two, the direct and the indirect, the subjective and the objective. But guess what? Listen to what it said in this verse right here. It said, and my angels gave him rules. Do y'all remember what those rules were? The rules of light and the rules of darkness. Let me remind you what those are real quick before we proceed toward this end. Watch this. Watch this. Yeah, I passed that up. Wait a minute. Where's that at? Nope. Go up. Right here. Right here. It said right here. This is coming from the book of discipline. Reinforces that the angels gave us rules to distinguish between the two. Now watch this. Right here in verse 11. In the book of discipline, it says, these then are the rules of light. What are the rules of light? That which is self-evident, that which is axiomatic, that which is substantiated by facts. Are y'all getting it now? Then it also gave us the rules of darkness. This, though, then is darkness. What is darkness? To express fault finding, criticism, censor, or even an opinion unsupportable by facts. So y'all see how consistent creator is? Direct and indirect, objective and subjective. Judgments of fact and judgments of opinion, having that diamond consciousness, Faithis. Having that diamond consciousness, And my angels gave him rules by which he could make manifest the difference between the two. Man has said, this is what man is saying. Man has said, behold, any man may say, thus says Jehovah. One kills a neighbor saying, I was thus inspired by Jehovah. Another practices all goodness, and his words are wisdom and comprehension. Sorry, wait a minute. Another practices all goodness, and his words are wisdom and comprehension. And he says, I was inspired by Jehovah. I say to you, O man, in this I also gave you liberty. Therefore, judge for yourself as to which came from me and which came from his surroundings, which is that of the beast or that of Satan. Huh? It says, judge for ourselves with judgments of opinion and judgments of fact for ourselves as to which came from me and which came from the surroundings. Huh? Now check out verse 5, y'all. This is where it kicks off at. The Creator says that we shall be our own judge in all things. We shall be our own judge in all things. The Creator said, behold, I have sent my God to judge you, but you shall also judge the judgments of your God. And afterward, in the same way, wait a minute, y'all. I have sent my God to judge you, but we shall also judge the judgments of our God. Come on now. We got to judge God. We got to judge God. Huh? Now I got to go in on this for a minute. You got to judge God. Huh? You got to judge a God. Huh? If it's angry. If it's jealous. If it's genocidal. If it's a pederast that kills kids. Huh? If it's a nationalist. If it's a racist that whose intentions is to kill off people that doesn't worship it. Huh? You got to judge that God. Huh? Call it what it is and be realistic. Huh? Because you can't change the words from the object and the source that it comes from. Huh? What is objective? What is objective? We went through this. Objective and direct. Huh? It says stemming directly from a source. So if I have a source that has a God that says he's jealous, that says he's envious, that says he's angry, that says he's wrathful, that kills kids, that commits genocides on nations, that contradicts himself by telling me not to kill, but then send me to go kill. Come on, you got to judge that God. Huh? Put him on trial. Huh? But if you got a creator that tells you to judge your fellow man, huh? And treat them with respect, and also develop yourself. And through developing yourself and being an inspiration, you inspire others to develop themselves as well. So love your neighbor, love your brothers and sisters, and magnify yourself from infancy up for the purpose of perpetual growth. Huh? Which God you gonna choose? Huh? It's choice in the end. But what you perceive and what you choose says a lot about you. And whatever you choose, you're going to emulate. Whatever God you choose as a role model, you're going to emulate the behavior of that God. If that God is a hypocrite, you're going to be a hypocrite too. If that God is wrathful, vengeance, and angry, and want war, you're going to act the same way. So you got to judge your God. You got to judge inside yourself as well as to how you want to proceed. My bad, y'all. Back to the lesson. Behold, I sent my God to judge you, but you shall also judge the judgments of your God. And guess what? And afterward, you shall also judge yourself in the same way. We got to judge ourselves in the same way. Now, I created you a perpetual judge, not only to judge yourself and the world besides, but you shall judge me, your creator. Huh? We got to judge our creator. We got to judge our creator. Why does the creator ask us to judge? Why does the creator tell us to judge? Here's why. Let's explain. Let me show y'all something real quick before we conclude. This is all to comprehend the intention of a thing. This is all to understand the intentions of a thing. A book, a God, a Lord, a Savior, a creator. It's all to understand the intentions. What are we saying the intentions were? Intentions is the aim. Intentions is the purpose. Intentions is the let me go back to the definition. fumbling on my words here. I'm moving too fast. I got heated up. Where's that word intent? Right there. It's the aim. It's the purpose. It's the course of execution. Now watch this. Watch this. Is the intent to deceive us, or is the intent to contribute to our spiritual development? Watch this. I'm gonna read this passage to y'all again, and I want y'all to see how this hits different when we use the word intention. Watch this. I'm gonna start from verse 5. You shall be your own judge in the intentions of all things, the aim, the purpose, the course of execution of all things. Behold, I have sent my God to judge your intentions. Behold, I have sent my God to judge your intentions, but you shall also judge the what? The intentions of your God. And afterward, you shall judge your intentions in the same way. Don't it hit different when you read it like that? Huh? The aim, the purpose, the course of execution. Now check this out. I created you a perpetual judge. Perpetual. I mean, we're going to always be judging whether something is subjective or objective, or whether it's something is fact or opinion, or whether it's something is direct or indirect. I created you a perpetual judge, not only to judge the intentions of yourself and the intentions of the worlds beside, but you shall also judge the aim, the purpose, the intentions, the course of action of your creator. Because it ain't insecure. There ain't nothing that they can't answer. I have given you many sacred books. I have given you many sacred books. I gave you Kabbalah. I gave you Owaspy. I gave you Bible. I gave you Quran. I gave you Kabbalion. I gave you emerald tablets. I have given you many sacred books. And I say to you, unless you judge the intentions, unless you judge the aim, unless you judge the purpose, unless you judge the course of action of them, you shall be caught in a what? A snare. You shall be caught in a snare. What is a snare? A snare. Something deceptively attractive. Something deceptively attractive. Something that deceives you through the art of attraction. Something that deceives you through the art of attraction. Now watch this. Watch how this hit different. Unless you judge the intentions of them, you shall be caught up in their art of attraction. So guess what, faith is? We judge our creator. We judge Owaspy. We judge ourselves, and we also judge our fellow man. So guess what? We're not indoctrinated like others. Because what does it mean to be indoctrinated? Let's look that up real quick. Define indoctrination is right there. I'm going to zoom in. And guess what? What did you see? Here's the key word right there. The key word is right here. Oh, hold on, I'm trying to highlight it. Sorry, I keep clicking it by accident. Keyword right here. The definition is the process of teaching a person or group to accept a set of beliefs, what? Uncritically. Uncritically. That means without judgment. How did the creator create us to be perpetual judges, but then you ask us to understand, try to believe something or accept, or make us accept something uncritically, without judgment, without putting that God on trial, without putting that book on trial, without putting that Savior on trial, to question him about his intentions, his aims, and his course of execution. But guess what? Here it is in verse 10. But you shall rely on your own inspiration from your creator. And that's direct. What is the creator? What is Jehovah? It is this living reality. That's what Jehovah is, a living reality. It's not a spook in the sky. It's the essence. It's the spirit of our living reality. Oh, you want to see it? You want to see that real quick? Well, let's go to the glossary. Let's go to the OWASP glossary, and we're going to look up Great Spirit. Watch this. If you scroll up, we're going to find Great Spirit. I'm going to read this to you. We're going to find out. We're going to explain what Jehovah is. Watch this. Great Spirit, right here. What is Great Spirit? It says Great Spirit. The universe is earth. The universe is sky, and the universe is also spirit. That's O-I-S-P. The O is sky, the I is earth, the spe is spirit. The universe is earth, sky, and spirit. And guess what? The 3 in 1 are what? The 3 in 1 are what? Jehovah. Huh? As the spirit of a man is to the man, so is the great spirit to who? Jehovah. Simple. Simple. Factual, truthful, evidential, actual, and realistic information that develops the spirit is why faithists are called objective spiritualists, family. Objective spiritualists being those who live for the spirit's sake, which is the development of the spirit, will be faithists. Believers in the ever-present person, y'all. Believers in the ever-present person. Love and light. Love and light. Love and light. Where you at, Mally? You still there?
Oh, wait, boy. Hey, man. And hey, look, and that was light. That was light. You know what I mean? But it was light. It was so deep.
It was basic.
I got a quote from you. You was turning up. I don't know if you even remember you saying this. But you speak real fast when I taught you. You said you can't change the words of the source and object that it comes from.
No, man.
You don't remember you saying it. That's what you said. You was turning up. I put it in the chat. You know what I mean? And I put Darryl Kosmon,
words of the source.
175 AK. You know what I mean? You can't change the words of the source and object that it comes from.
Can't do that, buddy. Can't do that.
That's you.
Yo, it ain't your, you know.
You see pouring out under inspiration. You just was rolling with that. You don't even remember. You don't even remember you said it. Yeah, I be listening.
Yeah, that's real right there, man.
Yeah.
So I said it real fast. Y'all got to slow down sometimes when I talk. I got to keep that in mind.
You'll find it. It's toward the end. But it's when you turned up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You was talking about judgment, and we supposed to be perpetual judges, not only with ourselves, with our fellow man, but even with the gods, the lords, the saviors, and even the creator. The creator say, you gonna judge me because the creator ain't got nothing to hide. The creator ain't got nothing to hide. It's all there. To where you ain't gonna do nothing but come out of fair judgment anyway, man. Righteousness.
Right. Be direct about it, man. But I'm glad
you ain't got nothing to hide. Right in your face with it. Objective, like you saying. You feel me? Yeah, bro. I got edification. I definitely got some spiritual food behind it. And as always, you always look over Honor and Humility, and of course, Creative Gang. Y'all go like, subscribe, share. If y'all don't know, this is my brother, Darryl Kosmon, one of the 4 horsemen, or one of the 4 Ninja Turtles, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all gave me Donatello, huh?
Yeah, you Donatello.
That's my dude too, Donatello. That boy, work you with that staff, boy.
I'm Michelangelo. I hit you in the mouth with a nunchuck. Kosmon Cows, Raphael, and Sea Lies, Leonardo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, anybody got any questions, or real quick? I know Malaki, you got something you got to do, and then I can sign off if nobody got any questions or any concerns or anything they want to express. But y'all
go ahead and post y'all comments, post y'all comments in the chat and all that. You know what I mean? If I do got to shake out, it can still keep going though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a few minutes. I got like maybe 15 more minutes, but we cut off before that.
Me
That's
too.
cool
Me
too.
too. Before I got to shake
Yeah.
out. So anybody got any questions? Anybody want to come on? Let me drop the link. And ask his brother some questions about what he just brought out. Come on with
it. You got Mally Megaton Light Bomb on there, man. Yeah, well, we had an intense weekend.
I gotta run and pick up and drop off and do it all over again. Any questions? Post that deal in the chat. Excellent presentation though. Excellent presentation.
Yeah, thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
As always, though.
I appreciate the love.
I expected nothing less.
Thank you, man.
Jamia says, let me click where. Jamia says, can you explain the discernment of Hog compared to his family? Can you explain the discernment of Hog compared to his family? She talking about one of the stories in OISP.
Oh, man, I gotta read that again.
Which exact verse you talking about, Jamia? Post it if you can.
I gotta read that. I gotta read that again.
He said you gotta read that again. You gotta read that again, Jamia. Excellent question, though. Hey, I hope my sister Hoover call you Professor Whirlwind. That's right. Always, bro, you already know it's always an honor, man. It's always, I be loving when we be on a light bomb campaign, like for like days at a time. You remember one of them one of our last campaigns, boy, was like a 4-day stretch of just bombing.
Oh man, yeah, boy, we brought out that science, man. Ooh, we brought out that science, boy. That was an ugly weekend, boy. I mean, we rocked the world that weekend, boy. We brought out that science, boy. Ooh, that vortex. Boy, that vortex go in. That vortex is irrefutable, man. I'm sorry, hands down. That vortex is crazy, especially with them sources. Woo,
oh man, man, it was so many megaton light bombs dropped that weekend. It was like midnight, boy.
Yeah, but you know what? Speaking of that science presentation, the reason why I wanted to do expand more on the objective subjective is because I know I introduced that in brief in the science of Earth Sky Spirit presentation back when I did that tour. But I wanted to do a subsequent video expanding more on the subjective objective to give especially for the Faces family, but to give everyone a understanding of where it is we come from when it comes to our thought processes.
Excellent. Sister Jamia got another. Are we able to create subjective realities and dreams? I feel like I have no control.
Yeah. You got okay. So here's what's interesting about what it is you said. I don't know if you've ever had a lucid dream before, but in a lucid dream, we have, I don't want to say total control, but we do have control of our dreams to some degree. And lucid dreaming is when, for anybody that doesn't know, lucid dreaming is when you become aware that you're dreaming. Like most of the times we sleep and any and everything just kind of happens and we ain't controlling it. But lucid dreaming happens when we're aware that we're dreaming. And because we're aware that we're dreaming, we can modify that reality that we're that current state of the reality that we're in at that time. It's like the coolest virtual reality you ever been in. So if I can give some experiences that I've had personally, is I've had when I was coming up, when I was just getting into spirituality in my early 20s, I was reading books on lucid dreaming and how to control dreams. And because I used to have lucid dreams where I would become conscious and aware that I'm dreaming. I'd be like I would snap out of it. It's like when you're dreaming and you're not lucid dreaming, it's like you hypnotize and like I say, any and everything just happens, right? But when you lucid dream, you snap out of it. Like boom, you wake up, you like in this whole other world. You're in your own world. And it's a subjective reality, or what they say in OISP, a simulated reality. Like you're in a simulation, but it's a simulation that's taking place in your mind. Okay. And you're having not to be more complex about it, you're having an objective experience that is subjective to anyone outside of that experience, but at the same time, it's an objective experience in the terms that is not happening in your waking reality. And so when I had bought some books on how to lucid dream, there's this exercise. They introduced these exercises called one of them was called Wake Back to Sleep. where like if you was to dream something, you wake up in the middle of the night and you still under the spell, you can go on, fall right back to sleep and try to stay aware that you're dreaming. And when you go back to sleep, you'll become conscious that you're dreaming. And so you can start manipulating that reality. There's another one called a dream token that you can get. I did this, and this one actually worked, but I fell off of it. I did this for about a good month and a half. Then it's gonna trip you out. If you've ever seen that movie, Inception, Leonardo DiCaprio had what he called a dream token, so that he can tell the difference between his waking life, his dream reality, and his awake reality. And so his was a spinning top, and so he would spin the top, and if the top keeps spinning and not fall, he know that he was dreaming. So this is actually a real thing. This is actually something that our spiritual ancestors really put into practice. So if you get a dream token, it could be any object, like it could be your cell phone, or it could be a microphone, but just make it something unique from the stuff that you interact with on a day-to-day basis. And so the one that I had was a compass. And so usually throughout the day, what it says is throughout your day, if something happened to you in your waking life that was weird, check your dream token to see if you was dreaming. And then if you do this enough times throughout the day, it'll become part of your subconscious to the point that when you dream, you start doing it in your dreams. So it got to a point like after, like I say, like 2 weeks, I started checking my dream token in my dreams. But the first few times that I checked it, I didn't become aware that I was dreaming. But the first step is to do it in your sleep. That's the first step, is to get it accomplished in your dreams. Then it got to a point where I was able to check it, and I was like, oh wait, I'm dreaming. Now I can, you know what I'm saying? Now I can walk through walls. Now I can fly. Now I can manipulate reality. I can do whatever I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, it's a subjective reality. It's a subjective reality, apart from your waking reality. Long answer. My bad. That was a mouthful. Go ahead though.
Hey, what's the name of those books you said? You said you got some books that explain dreaming.
I got it. I got one here, but I hadn't seen it in a while. But when I found it, I'm gonna post it to the group.
Yeah, if you remember the titles and all them, yeah, make sure you post them.
Yeah, matter of fact,
I think some of us are big dreamers. You know what I mean? Like myself, I've been having deja vu since I've been a little joker, a short letter.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hold on, let me see.
I never understand it until like I'm up in it. Like I don't recognize it walking up on it. You know what I mean? It always like something happens and it triggers, and I'll be like, I've been here before. I've seen this. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah, I hear you, man. So are you saying that you dreamed of places that you hadn't been before, but then you visit that place objectively?
Eventually, yeah. They call it deja vu, but I never recognize that I'm walking up into the deja vu. Something happens where it triggers, and I remember that.
Where it triggers it, where it's like I've seen this before.
And so I've had that. I've had that my whole life.
Yeah, and so it worked the same way in your dream reality with your dream token. Your dream token is like your own little personal version of a deja vu, but it's happening. It's a deja vu that's happening in the dream world instead of something that happened in the dream world that happened in reality. Mm-hmm. See what I'm talking about? But we don't teach that anymore. That's not something that we teach in this society that we live in, to how to master our dreams. Because it says somewhere in the WASP that our dreams are supposed to be simulations or something. But I don't want to stay there unless I really find a verse. I hadn't kept note of it. But
yeah, I've read something like that though, like subjective realities that are created either in dream states or for certain individuals who died a certain way. You know what I mean? I forgot exactly how, and I was like, damn, like they straight create a whole subjective reality for them.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was magnificent. Like even down to these, you know, we would be like, dang, that's messed up. They died that way. You know what I mean? But even down to these who didn't even get a chance to even really experience nothing. He even provide for those souls and spirits that cross over and allow subjective realities to be created to where that spirit or that soul could still experience, you know what I mean, bliss.
Get an experience of
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, that's all that is. And then when you hold on, there was some so there's even passages in the WASP where remember when in Book of Wars against Jehovah, when all the gods was warring against like the other gods and stuff, and they visited they mortal soldiers, like they'll be like they was putting in their mortal soldier heads that they was getting killed, just so that when they go into battle they can be afraid already.
Yeah,
that shit crazy. Like the angels go to the mortal soldiers of the ops and give them dreams that they getting killed in war, and then they wake up in fear, and then they got to go right into battle, and they already halfway lost because the angels then already got into their head and they dream. You know what I'm saying? they already messed them up. They already wake up like, man, in fear, like, oh my god, crazy, gone already, man.
What you feel about astral projection?
Astral projection, that's they talk about that in the WASP too. They talk about that astral projection. They say it talks about the subjective objective when it comes to a mortal visiting the spirit world while he's still alive. That's still considered a subjective experience. I don't know why that would be, but that's something I'm still trying to investigate, because that is something that I did come across studying the objective subjective in the WASP. But astral projection is something that I very much so believe that it is real. I believe it. I don't think I've had an astral projection experience before. I have had sleep paralysis, what doctors call or psychologists call sleep paralysis. I have had that before. And the reason I know that there's something to that is because when people have sleep paralysis, we all see the same thing. We all see spirits walking around with our eyes open, but we can't move our body. So I don't know if that's considered a form of astral projection, because I've never been able to walk outside of my body with my spirit, but I have had times where I woke up out of my sleep and I was seeing spirits walking around the house or whatever environment I was in. And then when I researched sleep paralysis, that's when I first learned that it was called sleep paralysis. But when other people say that they see spirits during their sleep paralysis, there's got to be something more to that, because there ain't no coincidence why everybody is seeing the same thing when they're under that condition.
Yeah, the elders back in the day used to say that witch is riding you. You know what I mean? That witch riding you. You know what I mean? Like when you be
like a vampire spirit,
what they call sleep paralysis today, especially down south. The witch was riding you.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow, I didn't even know. That's the first time I ever heard that.
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever heard that.
That was their phrase for sleep paralysis. You see what I'm saying? So they understood it was some type of entity, like it's a whole spiritual connection behind that. You know what I mean? And me being a big time dreamer since I can remember, I ain't even gonna lie to you. But I can remember a time where I couldn't control at all, nothing, like in my dreams, like nothing at all. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's usually the case. That's usually the case for everybody that's usually the case for anyone that had mastered lucid dreaming, is that like I say, any and everything just happens. Like I dream and any and everything happened, but I always have like these mystical moments where I would wake up, I would become conscious that I'm dreaming. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. Sometimes, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I do have like with some dreams that were lucid for me, that I became aware, something like really tripped out happened that made me say, wait a minute, I must be dreaming. I've had a couple of those moments before. I had a couple of moments where I used my dream token, but then I had moments where it just clicked without something triggering it. Oh, I found the book, by the way. It's on. Okay, it's called A Field Guide. It's on my Amazon right here. It's called A Field Guide to Lucid Dreaming. Hold on, let me see if I can get a bigger picture of it. Let me share my screen.
A Field Guide to the Spirit World.
A Field Guide to Lucid Dreaming. Hold on, I got this book. I just don't know what I did with it. It's in the house somewhere, but I'm gonna share my screen so y'all can see it. Hold on a second.
Yeah, I'm about to order that one. I'm about to order that one.
Yeah, this right here. It's only a little $12 book. It says A Field Guide to Lucid Dreaming, and it talks about the dream token. It talks about the wake back to sleep technique. It talks about I think it talk. I didn't read too much into it in this book, but I think it do talk about some sleep paralysis as well. But it tells you how to master your dreams. But you have to first learn how to become lucid before you can do that. You got to first learn how to become lucid before you can do it. I've tried it, and it's something that you have to try for yourself to understand what I'm talking about. Because, like I say, that's a subjective experience that is objective to me. But other individuals, you have to try it for yourself. If you get yourself a dream token, and I found this to be most effective for me. Like, I'm just sharing what was most effective for me from this book and more practical. The sleep token was. The wake back to sleep didn't really work for me all that well.
A field guide to lucid dreaming. What's the author on that, bro?
Yeah. The author is a guy named Dylan Chilo, I guess. Probably sound like an Italian guy, and there's another person named Jared Zizel and Thomas Picel. So it seemed like it was 3 authors that put this together.
Okay. Y'all make sure y'all tap in. That's what's up, bro. Well,
yeah,
look, I'm about
that,
to
man.
Man. I gotta.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
A few pickups and all that. As always, brother, it's an honor. It's an honor and a pleasure. You dig to be in your presence, chopping it up with you.
Yeah,
we chop it up every day in the back chat anyway.
Likewise.
So, you know what I mean? I salute you, my brother, love and light.
Right on. I salute you too, man. Love
right on for coming through and dropping a megaton light bomb. You dig? And look, that was very strategic. It's done at the right time. Right? We got the world's attention right now.
Yeah. I mean, I kept my mouth shut. I know you like there's a lot of shit we could have went in on, but it was just about just giving a basic understanding. Let's keep it light.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, don't ruin it with no warfare right now. We all good, brother. This is all this was even kill. This was cool. You know what I mean? But nah, man. No. We chop it up every day. So it's all love, brother. Love and light. Blessings to you and your family. You be safe out there. Hey, stay low and keep firing, man. Stay low and keep firing.
Yeah, likewise, my brother.
Next time, brother. I salute you in the name of that.
Next time, brother. I'll see you in a minute.
Bless up. Create a gang in the building. You bring them, we raise them. Create a gang TV. Like, subscribe, share. We about here. Bless up.